Well, thanks for joining us on TVC News this hour. We begin with updates from Germany, where President Bola Tinubu has assured investors that Nigeria is open to more investment as democracy now has a proper place in the country. President Tinubu spoke earlier today at the 10th German-Nigerian Business Forum, where he stated that Nigeria seeks a relationship to remove all hurdles to progress and also ensure that investors have a conducive environment for operations. The president also assured that his administration will continue to solve problems, not create new ones.
A democracy should be, if we fight for it. Yes, it is now very flexible and resilient in Nigeria. Be assured. Shake off the military era syndrome. Shake that off. You may have all other news from sections of Africa, but for Nigeria, democracy is there, is here, and we are partners. Nigeria voted for me for reforms. And from day one of my inauguration, I started the reform. Yes, it could be difficult in the past to do business in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole. But to any foresight and progressive business thinkers, to ignore the largest economy in Africa is not the solution to your progressive side.
Well, joining me for more on this is a financial analyst, Mukhtar Mohammed. He joins me from Lagos. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 1.
Thank you.
Well, Germany and Nigeria enjoys about 60 years of bilateral relations. Let's talk about the key highlights of the 10th German-Nigerian Business Forum. We could see our president, appealing to intending German investors to forget the past losses on investment, and also he promised an open-door policy. In the long run, what will this relationship spell for the Nigerian economy in terms of, value chain and intensify local production?
I think for value chain, thank you so much again for having me. For value chain, I think we've seen that happen with the president assuring them that the cement power project, he's committed to it. For me, that's a point of continuity that makes them know that if you bring any business to Nigeria that is beneficial to the economy, we'll continue to do those business with you. And if you said, how is it going to create value? You know what power it is already in Nigeria, and what power will be if we have the cement project on ground, how it can help our manufacturing sector, how it can help every sector of the Nigerian economy. I think that's what Mr. President is saying to them. We can't say we've really gotten the value of G20 as a nation or as a continent. But this time around, I think the president is playing a different ball game. He's telling them, look, I've done some reforms that you people have been clamoring for a very long time. Remember that some of these reforms that we are seeing here are reforms that they've been clamoring for. Liberalization of the exchange rate, or we call it the floating of the naira, a removal of fuel subsidy, and creating an enabling environment for a two-way exchange system. And the president is saying, look, I'm doing all that, I'm doing those reforms. There's no how you can ignore my country at the moment. And I think for the first time after President Obasanjo, we have a president that is becoming the #1 marketing officer of Nigeria, letting people know that it is different. Come over here and let's have business together. And we saw before now, what we see is the president going to visit and then asking for aid. Can you loan me money, want to do this project and that. But now what we're seeing a president that is going there to say, look, I have this project, you can come in here and deliver on this project, you make your profit, but you're going to pay tax and you're going to employ my people, which I think is a very good thing he's doing.
All right, I'm going to take you up on the president's statement on fuel subsidy later on, but we could also see the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, pledging about $4.4 billion for the African EU Green Energy Initiative. Does this seem like there will be an early form of, materialization?
Well, when it comes to policy statements and when it comes to what I call it aid, sometimes these are tied under some conditions that most times African nations are not able to meet them, and so you might not see might not see those projects come to the light of day. But hopefully, with the green energy, I hope and I believe that it might see the light of day, especially when the world is moving towards green energy and the world is trying to protect the climate. It could work, but again, like I said, it all depends also on Nigeria doing their own part, because it's always a two-way exchange system when it comes to commitment in terms of aid. And if you are not meeting some of those obligations, the aid doesn't come in. So I think it boils down to Nigeria doing what they have to do if they want to attract those aid, and if they want to attract it and attract it fast.
Let's also talk about issues that affect us. There's also a massive skill gap in Germany. Unemployment there is about 1.8 million. We also know that skilled workers, we see our best workers in Nigeria coming into Europe and not getting as much as expected. With the intending cooperation, what does it spell for Nigeria and Germany in terms of merging the skill gap and also providing job opportunities for Nigerians living in Germany?
Well, for Nigerians living in Germany, I think if you ask them to come back to the country now, they rather still remain in Germany because of the exchange rate. In terms of exchange rate between euro and naira, I think they will say, look, it's more valuable for me to be here. But like we always say, it's not always greener on the other side. They also have their challenges, and I'm happy that you brought that out. Like I was telling somebody, they also have the inflationary pressure. They also have job issues. So why are we so much in the haste to run to this country and think that these countries have all that we need? I think, but again, we need them to in the area of skill development also. I think was one area no government have been able to move energy into it, that is human capital development, which could enhance employability when you begin to attract these big companies from Europe into your country. You don't want them to begin to import their key staffs into your country also, and these key staff in terms are paid in their various currency and they have to repatriate it back to their country. So you are left with battling with those exchange rate issues. I think the president is doing a good job, but again, we need to wait and see, because like I said, the president has been in some summits. We've seen some pronouncements either by his aide, media team, and at the end of the day, we've not seen the light of day of some of these of pronouncement, even if they said it was going to be with immediate effect.
All right, financial analyst Mukhtar Mohammed speaking to us live from Lagos. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 1.
Thank you so much.